This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Sunday, October 1st, 2023. The title of this rant is Democracy, Sometimes a Great Notion. So there was an incredible shit show yesterday, and for the last several weeks, as Republicans have decided that they didn't want to extend the debt ceiling. But let's bring up the history of why we are here, not on the debt ceiling, but why we are here. I'm going to bring up three things, not necessarily in that order, in the correct order. The first one is the Powell Memorandum from 1973, where before he became a Supreme Court Justice, Powell put out a memorandum basically saying that we need to invest in everything to get rid of democracy so that only the rich can have democracy. And they wanted to, and they've done an incredible job since that came out. In fact, they got a lot of their stuff in the 70s. Basically, they said we need to invest a lot of money because we need to change the government, we need to change the judiciary, the education system, the media. We need to change the educational system, and there was a couple other ones. And they've done a very incredible job to do it. In fact, they've done such a good job, they've only invested a couple $1 billion in this, and they've gotten over $50 trillion in return. The second one is Reaganism, where we had a folksy guy who talked all these platitudes and stuff, while in the meantime, he was screwing the average working American every single minute of his presidency. And the last one I want to bring up is libertarianism, because that started, I think, in the 30s and 40s, basically. It had its beginnings, obviously, before that. But basically, that was all on selfishness. And the Republicans always had them in there, and what they called them in the 60s and 70s, they called them the crazies, because that's what they were, and that's what they are right now. All these people in the House Freedom Caucus, they're all crazies, because their sole purpose in life is to make the government as inefficient and ineffective as possible. All right, and in essence, and the only way they can do that, and that's how they transferred this wealth transfer of $50 trillion, is they've bait and switched everything that they've done. Now, we can give the most recent example of that, and I would say, who is the most oppressed minority right now, or one of the most oppressed? That would be the trans people. They're being vilified, mocked, with aggression and violence. They just want to live their own lives. While the Republicans are all over on this, while at the same time, they're not going to speak anything about women's health issues or enacting laws denying women's bodily autonomy. If you remember, I believe, it was Kamala Harris who basically said to Brett Kavanaugh, can you think of any laws that will give government the power to make decisions about the male body? Of course, he didn't have any answers, but that's exactly what the Republicans are doing. Again, going after trans people, not talking anything about women's bodily autonomy, while enacting laws restricting it all over the place. And of course, the thing is, this is going to continue as long as we let them. So we need to vote them out, because we need a functioning, efficient, and effective government, and we need it now.